Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about Pluto transiting the 10th house in a natal chart. Now, on average, Pluto will traverse a house for approximately 21 years. However, if your house size is a little bit larger than average, then Pluto will be in there for a little bit of a longer duration. If your house size is a little bit smaller than average, then Pluto will be in there for a little bit of a shorter period. Well, anyway, people, the first thing I'll look at when Pluto transits one's natal 10th house is that, well, there might be a very strong transformation that takes place in matters connected with their career and their livelihood. I think a lot of this is predicated on whether the person knows like the direction he or she is taking in their career. If it's somebody that is like that really has real certainty and there's no ambivalence regarding their career, then it might take a real strong, powerful change and it might be for the better. But if the person is somewhat indecisive or somewhat nebulous regarding their career situation, then it might be a time where it goes through a transformation in the sense where they just maybe completely change their career altogether. It could also be a time, unfortunately, where the reputation could be obliterated. It could even obliterate the person's career, and they might just want to start. They might wind up starting something new during this time. There might be some upheavals and perhaps some power struggles and issues connected with people that are prominent in their career, or maybe even with authority figures as well. If they're working under somebody, which is going to be in a lot of cases, then that could be the case. Well, also keep in mind that the 10th house is also connected with our ambitions, and it's important not to be at a point where you're just going to romp all over everybody just to get to the top, just to reach that pinnacle of success. And looking at this as well, the 10th house is also it's about our social status and where we stack up stack up against others in terms of where we are in our life, our stature in life. And this could be, like I spoke about regarding the ambitions, the same could apply for the social status. It could be if somebody just wants to, this could be a transit where somebody may want to do whatever it takes to get to that top, to be where some of their other contemporaries are, and some other people that are more successful than them are at in their life, and they may go to whatever measures possible in some extreme instances. And Pluto is also connected with what's nefarious and corrupt, so it's very important to remember to really be careful and prudent during this transit, that you just don't do whatever it takes, whether it's legal or not, to get to the top where you want to be at in life. And you don't have to go and do anything underhanded in order to get there. It could also be a time where maybe somebody prominent in your career might be doing something which is far less than ethical or scrupulous in terms of what they're doing in connection with your career, in maybe at your place of business or what have you. So, and also, the 10th house is also about our notoriety and recognition. However, this could be a time where you may receive some notoriety and recognition if you really, because this is a very powerful placement transit for the 10th house. And this could happen during this time, because you may be pursuing career matters with a lot of intensity, and that's what Pluto does when it transits that house. It gives a lot of intensity to it. It could be something where if you haven't received much recognition or notoriety in something before, Pluto is about transformation and may turn that around, and you might get something because of that, get certain recognition and perhaps some accolades for what you've done in matters connected with your career. It could also be a period where maybe you take on something Pluto-like as far as a career endeavor goes. It could be something like astrology, something connected with the supernatural, the occult, maybe forensics, psychology, psychiatry, something connected with investigation, perhaps something where you're really digging deep. It could be like some deep research, perhaps, maybe connected, even in some isolated cases, something with nuclear physics, because Pluto does govern nuclear weapons. And also, the 10th house is about authority figures. So if you're a subordinate or subservient position where you are, there might be some clash with authority figures and some contentious situations with them, possibly. And this could be a time where you might have a hard time if you are in a subordinate position at your job, in your career. You might have more difficulty now because you might feel more of that need to be on top, and you want more power in connection with your career, perhaps. And it might be a time where you might really be more forceful about getting a leadership position, management position, or what have you. Also, the 10th house is about the dominant parent, which is usually the father. And I mean, I know a lot of you don't like to hear the dreaded D word. I'm going to say it again, the death word. But the propensity increases a little bit as far as perhaps that dominant parent dying during this time, because this is Pluto and it is connected with death. And the 10th house is the dominant parent, or which is generally the father. And there might be some power struggles with this person as well during this time. And anyway, it's also important to look at the aspects, if any, that are made to your natal planets in points by this transit, as this could impact the transit. Now, let's say, for example, that transiting Pluto is making a square to your natal Neptune. Well, this might indicate an overfixation, an obsession with something, and it may conflict with your dreams. And being in the 10th, this could be, maybe this fixation might be tied into career and matters connected with ambitions. Now, let's take another example. Let's say that transiting Pluto is making a sextile or trine to your natal Pluto. Well, this may indicate strong focus and concentration of power that may allow you to make a positive change and transformation. And being in the 10th house, this could be tied in with your ambitions and tied in with social status and where you stack up against other people in society. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Pluto transiting the 10th house in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about Pluto transiting the 11th house in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.